Don't get me wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's all about freedom of speech.
Perhaps I'm one of the most qualified members of the European Parliament to talk about the use of social media platforms in elections, as they were the only tool I used to get elected and be here today.
That's not fair.
Throughout the history of representative democracy, the people that were running for office were usually the ones that had access to the traditional media of their time. Now, for the first time in history, everybody has the power to convince the people about their ideas and become a politician only by using their phone.
Freedom, freedom, freedom.
And of course, if anyone can use social media, there will be some voices we will not like. But freedom of speech is about allowing all voices to be heard, and sometimes here in Europe, we censor voices we don't like just by labeling them disinformation. Freedom of speech is the bedrock of integrity of elections and of democracy itself, and we need to fight to preserve it. Let's return to Voltaire's idea. I disapprove what you say, but I will defend to death your right to say it.
Thank you.
The fact that he used that message to be elected and represent somebody in the UN, that means a lot of people voted for this guy. Maybe that is the reason why they don't like him.
Is there a blue card for you?
Because they don't want his ID to be the new normal, because they want to choose the people they want to put there.
Release the hound.
So thank you, Fidias. I have a couple of questions because, as you said, you have a lot of experience in this field. The first one is, do you really believe the quality of politics has improved with all these extreme things? I mean, the videos you make, they need to have a hook, they need to be somehow engaging, but it feels like they're also often quite limiting and simplistic. And when I listen to what the colleagues, Mrs. Disinformation here, has been saying, I have heard that von der Leyen is blackmailing politicians, that she has ordered somehow the courts in Romania to act a certain way, that we smell like sulfide, I don't know where that came from, that the LGBTQI community has been weaponized. I mean, these all, that we are in an Orwell state, and this seems to be disinformation. So how would you improve the quality of information on social media? Thank you.
I just find it very weird that this guy speak in a simplistic way, that he said, and that he is disinformation like he labeled him. And the only thing this person said, I wish people could say the truth so people can judge the truth by themselves. I don't see why that is so bad. And so many people have a blue card to respond against him. I find it a little wild.
By the way, thank you. It's my first blue card. I'm very excited to answer it. Yes, social media, I think, like every evolution, it takes some adaptation. So we need to adapt to the new current system. So, and this is what I'm doing, adapting to the new system. But I think, yes, there is some problems, but we need to find different tools. Labeling everything as disinformation, it's not going to, where do you draw the line on disinformation and truth? Because a lot of the times in the past, like it was, we assumed something is disinformation, it was wrong. But maybe some new techniques of AI advancements and all this stuff to use on social media to, in a way, explore all the content and label something as wrong, in a way, but not to be able not to say something. But thank you. I love you all.
It's a blue card for you.
Mamma mia. Here I go again.
You didn't get a blue card until now, and now you get two at the same time. So, because it's about social media, and you very well, I think you do it well. You know, you convince people, and nothing is wrong about that. But the problem here, and that's what we're discussing about, is if there's a foreign actor putting lots of money to influence the whole discussion. That is what is happening there. And there's also a difference to the past. And there are new developments here. So can we agree together that we want to protect free speech, that we want to have transparency what's happening on the platform, and fair rules? That is what we're talking about.
Well, we agree on this, first of all, but also Mr. Stefanuța said before about in the polls, it was not showing the president of Romania. Also the polls 1 week before my elections were showing me 2% and I received 20% of the votes. So the new methods that we have doing polls and all this stuff is kind of in the old-fashioned way, and it doesn't represent the current state of also social media. So I think democracy needs to evolve to the new state of this online social media. Yeah. I love you all again. It's very exciting to have 2 blue cards.
It's another blue card.
Again!
I find it rather interesting the fact that he wants people to be able to say things. But even if I don't agree, I still want to know what it is so we can talk about it and find the middle ground. I just think it's dangerous when he says, you don't have to say anything. We'll just find the middle ground, but we don't need to hear your voice. We'll decide where the middle ground is going to be.
Tight, yeah!
And the fact that he keeps getting a bunch of blue cards, like people have to respond to what he just said, I find it interesting. Maybe just a little suspicious, a little.
It's another blue card. If you accept.
I accept.
The last I heard, free speech still exists.
Orwell was mentioned here before, and I think, what if the popular medias are in the hands of the oligarchs, super rich, or authoritarian leaders? As we know that the algorithms in X and TikTok, they are not open. So do you think that these algorithms should be open, that everybody can know if they are brainwashed or not? Because we know that X, TikTok, maybe some others are brainwashing us.
Just like I got a bunch of strikes for things that was a lie, but now seem to have been a truth, then I was demonetized for something more than a year, and I don't know exactly why, but I can only assume. It's not very clear. Just like on Facebook, I was banned for so many days and I don't know why. But you can't compare X with TikTok, because on TikTok, you can't talk bad about their country, and there's so many things you can say on TikTok and your account just get removed. Nobody tells you why. It doesn't happen on X.
You again. I think you are making a mistake because X has a part of the algorithm open source, so you can see what is actually happening. And I think this is what social media need to look like, because we need to understand how the algorithm is working. They need to be transparent on how the algorithm is working. So we, the citizens and everyone, or the coders would tell us if something was misused. So having transparency over the coding, I think, is very important, and I agree with you. But some of the platforms are doing that already, and we need to encourage them to do more. I love you all.
What I find interesting, why are we talking about freedom of speech and suddenly the defense is we need to be able to see what information we're sending to people? I'm like, do you want to control what I see, or do you want to control what I hear? Because that seems to be 2 different topics.
As we know that the algorithms in X and TikTok, they are not open.
And I don't think it's fair to talk about one topic and that topic gets something done on the other side. So somebody can says, I never talk about this. I just focus on this, but I'm happy if this happens when I talk about this. That seems to be very confusing, especially when you silence the speech of a specific group that you go after. You do it very well, and now that they seem to be gone, you have to scour the middle ground for coded language, and you don't really seem to care sometimes of the citizens that you might put in your crosshair. I don't know. That sounds unique.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam. Durloqueta verdeta welcome.